Give me some of that good old love. Oh, let me make you.
Ouais, bon gars.
Ouais.
L'homme qui vient de loin.
Ouais, putain de merde, ouais, 5 heures de train.
La semelle est usée.
Putain, 5 heures dans un train de merde sans prise électrique pour charger mon phone, putain. On est Al. Ça fait longtemps que je suis pas venu. Mais en vrai, je sais même plus ça fait combien de temps. Un petit moment. Maintenant, je suis sur le west side du pays, quoi. Ça se passe, on est Al. La MC légendaire, Masta Ace, Mixtape Addict. Il fait pas beaucoup d'interviews, le man.
Juice Crew.
Ah ouais, Juice Crew, t'entends, légendaire.
Putain.
Des choses qui ne se passent que peut-être une fois dans une vie, tu vois.
Mais c'est quel média qui fait des bails comme ça, frère?
Ça, gros, j'arrête pas de le dire.
Pourtant, il y a plein de médias maintenant, mais que font-ils? Pourquoi faut attendre que ce soit un gars qui habite même pas la région?
Ouais.
Hein? Qui fasse le boulot, le devoir.
Ah ouais. Demander des interviews à des gars comme ça, il y en a besoin. Quand on sait par exemple que Masta Ace, c'est l'homme qui a influencé 90-95% du style d'Eminem dans le storytelling, dans les placements, dans la petite folie, tout ça qu'il y avait en plus.
C'est ça, Eminem le reconnaît carrément, quoi. Il n'y a pas de...
Hier soir, j'ai écouté Tony Touch qui interviewait Masta Ace et Eminem en même temps. Ça, déjà, c'est quelque chose.
Ah, laisse tomber. Tiens, Marco Polo de Hall.
Vous voyez les mecs qui sont là, on filme un petit peu vite fait, tu vois, comme ça. Tu vois,
petite vibe. Voilà. Ambiance de gens qui tournent, quoi.
J'ai envie de faire le mec et tout. Qui a les interviews?
Fais le mec, mais c'est pas grave, on s'en fout.
Qui a les interviews sans intermédiaire?
Il n'est pas là pour plaire. Sans intermédiaire, il a dit.
Sans manager, sans tout ça.
Il a dit sans intermédiaire.
Non.
Hein?
Parce que moi, je vais te dire, les intermédiaires, ça me saoule. Parce qu'en vérité, la plupart des intermédiaires, c'est pas des mecs de la culture ou des meufs de la culture. Il y en a, mais très peu. Authentique shit. Ouais,
du blueprint.
C'est ça tout seul aussi, tu vois. Moi et mon équipe, personne d'autre. C'est tout. Avec nos moyens. Sans subvention. Sans prêt bancaire, frérot. Tu vois ce que je veux dire?
Si.
Avec le cœur. La suite après, Luis.
Il est en place. Les gars sont partis déposer leurs affaires.
Et aujourd'hui, on est en présence de Masta Ace. L'homme avec un super pen, comme on dit, un pen game impressionnant. Une interview exclusive pour Mixtape Addict. Regarde, on va faire un truc. Tu vas filmer là, et tu vas me dire combien il y a d'autres médias français dans la pièce. Vas-y, montre. Les médias français. Let's get to it. Yeah, à Mixtape Addict Report. Et aujourd'hui, je suis avec la légende chez son beatmaker, Masta Ace. How you doing, guys? What's up, man?
Bed-Stuy, Flatbush, Brownsville, Crown Heights, where the music feels good and it sounds right. Summertime music in the park. Y'all can't write how I write. This be the best part of the game. This is a highlight. There's so many stars in the twilight. So many birds in the flock, very few of them fly right. I be the man in front of the fans gandering, standing in spotlights, fam, you're panhandling. Animate, most top 10s, you been rambling. Running off with the lips big, Pam Anderson.
Gotta ask you, man, the Mixtape Addict question. You know, we're here in Paris today, so I will start with you, Master.
Okay.
Who's your all-time favorite DJ?
Ooh, there's a lot of dudes, man. It's a tough one. A lot of dudes.
So, you can give me like a, top 3 if you don't want to.
Yeah, let's do top 3 because I different categories, right? So for me, like group / scratcher type DJ Premier.
Gangstar, I make it do what it do, so true. Classic like the Fu Manchu. Mr. Gangstar, I make it do what it do. Mr. Gangstar.
party rocker, like tear a party up, DJ Mr. C. And then pure turntablism, tricks and all of that, Rock Raider.
Crazy. I remember when I was a kid, man, watching him, doing the crazy tricks.
All that. Yeah.
I'm gonna do top 3 too.
Okay. What about you, Marco? Tell me.
So I'm gonna cross over and say Primo for sure, but I'm gonna say Jazzy Jeff and DJ Revolution.
Yes, sir.
That covers for me the gamut of technical party rocking, production scratching on records. Yeah, to me, Jazzy Jeff's arguably the best DJ of all time, just because he's in all categories, got skills, and then Rev might be the best technical scratching, like a robot.
What about Scratch Bastard?
Shouts to Scratch Bastard, my ginger Canadian brother. He's on his way to being in that conversation on the route he's going. Yeah, but the thing about Scratch Bastard once again is he's like so many. He can rock a party. He can do technical scratching. He can do nerd stuff. He can do it all. So
it's like same thing as an MC. When you can master everything, you can master the flow, storytelling.
Why can't I think of the words? Why can't I think of the word for that when you do multiple things in your? Why can't I think of words?
Versatile.
Versatile. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Words are a problem for me right now because I'm jet lagged.
Yeah, you were.
Scratch Bastard is very versatile. All those DJs are versatile, but yeah.
It's Mixtape Addict, so I gotta ask you about the mixtape culture too. How familiar are you guys, with the mixtape culture, all the mixtape DJs? Because a lot of DJs been playing your joints and all their tapes, worldwide.
I mean, it's been a minute since I heard an actual mixtape, to be honest. But I grew up listening to them. That was a very important part of breaking records and hearing new artists and people doing freestyles, and especially in New York, that was actually the heart and soul of the streets and hip hop culture. Was what would hit the mixtapes first, then it would hit radio. So, but recently, I'd be lying to say I heard a mixtape like in the last year or two. So if there are new mixtapes, by all means, please put me on. Yeah, I guess they're all digital now, unless you actually mean a physical. Clearly there's no physical mixtapes, but if you mean just a mix,
is there in the New York area? Yeah, they still got that.
People are still making
for $1, something like that.
Wow. Yeah. Did you know that?
No. My mixtape, my relationship with mixtapes dates back to the late '90s. There, you had Doo-Wop, you had Mr. C, you had Ron G, you had Kid Capri, you had DJ Clue, and there's a couple more that I'm not off the top of my head, but all these guys were like every week or every month dropping a new mixtape, and you would hear a lot of this music, this unreleased hip hop music from especially New York area, that some of it never ever came out. Some of it was like you heard it like, oh, that's crazy, I can't wait till that come out, and
never come out.
Yeah.
So those were like great times to hear stuff. Like you don't get to hear that kind of stuff anymore. A lot of times those songs just get lost, swept under the rug. So late '90s was like, to me, was the prime time for it. There's a group called the Tape Kings in New York, and they put out a lot of those mixtapes. They did all the Mr. C joints. So I still remember actual blends and mixes that were done on those tapes. Like to this day, I can like repeat stuff that I heard on some of those tapes.
Yeah, and then after that era, and if we go into 2000s, that's where my mixtape knowledge on a bigger level, like the New York Reality Check one that Primo did, that put me onto a lot of artists I'd never heard of in my life. You ever heard that? Hayes Presents, DJ Premier did the mixtape. It was like New York Reality 101 or something.
At the end of 1974, when Daddy Dukes went raw, the chosen sperm to explore and reach the egg for sure.
And that has so much fire on it. And there's a Stretch and Bobbito, Stretch Armstrong, the Lesson 1 and 2. Sound Bombing, when Rockers started doing it with Evil D, and the Beat Junkies. And then they started, but that turned into actual like full like major label album releases, but still in the format. So yeah, those were really important. That was good energy right there.
It's crazy, you know. I think, you know, although the streaming platforms that exist now with the Spotify and all that, I think they exist for a reason, and that's because mixtape was, you know, fucking up your money back in the early 2000s.
The label money.
2010, yeah, the label money and all that, you know. Because when you look at it, the Spotify playlist, even the song can blend into each other. It's like when you're listening to a mixtape. All the big labels almost went to court, you know, with the DJ. Remember what they gave the DJ drama and all that.
Yeah.
But, you know, the mixtape is a very powerful tool when you think about it. When you look back in the past and see what 50 Cent did, Lil Wayne, dude went platinum in the street through just mixtape. You know, creating
50 brought it back to life in a whole different way, because he was basically taking people's beats, other artists' songs, and rapping over them and creating a whole new street version of it that everybody was playing that more than they were playing the song that was by the artist.
Big money, big things, big wristwatch, big diamond ring. My niggas love when the club be off the chain. They out front making niggas take off the chains. You can ball to the hollow tip, picture frame. You can ball up and hang on for your life, man. A little candy paint, a little bit of chrome, a little wood grain, a nigga money gone.
I miss that shit, to be honest. I miss all that.
I kind of miss that too, because a lot of that stuff was cool.
It's very creative and
yeah,
it was cool.
Yeah, they had crazy concepts too, you know. And hosted by LeBron James and stuff like that.
But it really represented the people more than it did like anything fake, because it really wasn't funded. It was literally dudes pressing up tapes, putting them in the street, and going right to the people. It eliminated any sort of corporate. Yeah.
I think, you know, that's why they did it, you know, to go against the corporate thing. You know? Talking about this, you know, you guys did a lot of work together, you know, over the years. Could we expect one of those days, maybe a mixtape, kind of like a best of?
You got me hyped to make a mixtape right now. Like, we can make a mixtape. Anything's possible.
I don't know if me personally, because my output isn't like a lot of artists, like these throwaway verses, because that's what mixtape is just like. I'm just gonna say some bars. Like, I don't really, like, that was maybe me 25 years ago. Like, I don't have the desire to just throw bars out. Like,
well, not really throwing balls. Maybe songs that you did not use in the past. You know, something that's
the thing. We don't have
a lot of stuff.
We don't have
like
throwaway
that,
songs. Like, everything.
We don't record 1,000 songs.
Yeah,
I wish.
Everything we record is like deliberate and for a purpose, and it's
mostly gets used.
There was like one or two from the last album that we didn't use. But they weren't finished.
You heard it, right?
But they weren't finished.
I think what would be more likely for us is to actually just have a DJ compile maybe all of the work we've done. Because there's been a lot of non-album joints, collaborations on my albums, me producing joints on his solo records, random stuff I've done. That could be a cool thing where we can do a mixtape where it doesn't involve anything new recording-wise. Have a DJ cut it all up to kind of like a discography mixtape, like here's the whole shit, and you know that could happen because
like
it's easy.
Mixtape.
Give it to a super dope DJ that knows how to cut and scratch and hear all that shit going into it, like a kind of a best of collab thing. That would be more likely than.
The household names, you know, big DJ. You guys are household names in hip hop.
I mean, we're lucky. We know a lot of great DJs that are, you know, a bunch.
Or even not one DJ, maybe two DJs. You know, we used to do that in mixtapes. We had like 4 different DJs on the same mixtape, continuing together.
It's possible.
There's one or two songs from that didn't make a Brooklyn Stories album that never got finished, and like. I don't see where those songs are gonna fit on the new record. So maybe something like that. I would revisit, maybe rewrite the song and just put that out. But I'm cool to do that because it's not as much thought into making it. It has to be a song. It has to be about something. Like, no, I could see doing that. So we got a few of those throwaways that just, I need 2 or 3 that just never made. Like on this record, there's a couple of joints that may or may not make the record.
There's always at least one joint, that never gets used in the album, at least, and you work on something like that.
Sometimes we turn them into bonus joints too. So we'll see. I don't know. We don't have a ton of stuff laying around though.
Just throwing an idea for you guys,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man. Well, let's talk about your discography, Master. Because you started with the legendary groups, and you are able to like what I say is travel through the generation, and staying true to yourself. You never dropped the average album.
I'm sure that's arguable, but okay.
What you think, Marco?
I don't think he dropped an average album ever. Even with the collaborations, not average.
I was saying to him before we started this interview, like, it depends on who you ask.
I mean,
if you ask a mainstream fan that listens to Hot 97 in New York,
music
like,
is
what?
music, so there's really no right or wrong. It's one's opinion versus another man's opinion.
Right.
There's no definitive, there's no way to prove right or wrong. It's, I like this, I like that. So arguably, I can just speak from my opinion that I don't think he's released an average project.
I think that's the opinion of all the real hip hop fans across the globe too.
I mean, those are the ones that matter. Those are the ones that matter to me.
Yeah.
But I'm also clear in my head that the world is bigger than our boom bap hip hop community. The world's a lot bigger and wider than that. So if you start asking people outside of that, our world,
They don't probably listen to our music anyways, to be honest, so it's not really relevant to us anyways.
My opinion is that your music can reach more people, maybe that the hardcore music, like MOP for example, you cannot make like a 60-year-old couple maybe listen to MOP. You're not going to fuck with it, it's too hardcore for that.
Yeah.
You guys have powerful lyrics, great melodies, the super dope samples, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you could probably play a record Brooklyn, in a nice room, and before you could play Ante Up. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and that's cool if we can reach all types of audiences with our music. But I think if you look through the discography, besides the collaboration we did of both of we've covered all the energies. We've had. I'd like to think that he had his MOP type phase earlier on when things were different.
Slaughterhouse, 93 when I was super hard records.
So we've covered the gamut. So if whatever you're looking for style-wise, I feel like we both cover it, especially him and his catalogs in terms of, oh, you want hardcore shit? Okay, go to this record. Okay, you want more stories and concepts? Check this. And that's the dope thing. Not a one-trick pony. It's like some people just stay in one zone. So
yeah, that's why your career, is kind of like one of a kind, It's not a lot of dudes in hip-hop history
I agree.
that can say the same thing.
Thanks for saying
Absolutely.
Because you're able to, like make your sound evolve, but at the same time stay true to yourself and keep your, I like to say, the sonic image,
Yeah.
Keep your sonic image at the same time.
I was just trying to prove that I belonged here. That was it. Trying to prove myself.
you proved it.
So I kept,
Improved it.
So what are the challenges that you have now? You have a long career, very respectful career, you can crazy shit.
My challenges are finding the desire to do just throwaway bars. Like, especially when we're working on these albums. Like, to me, these albums are important. And I don't want to just rhyme about nothing. Like the last album, Marco will tell you, like, I was like, yo, I said, I'm gonna just go in on a couple of these joints. Like, I'm not gonna make it about nothing topical. I'm just gonna just rap. And so we, I took the liberty to just pick 4 or 5 joints, like, Get Shot,
Corporal Punishment,
the joint with Styles P,
Man
Law.
Those bars.
There's a couple more I'm probably not thinking of.
My favorite ones.
He just wants you to just rhyme. Yo, just rhyme, yo. Like, when I'm doing an album, it's got to be about something. If I'm just doing a one-off verse for somebody, if I'm just doing a one-off verse, I'm just going to write the first cool shit that come to mind, spit it sound dope, done. But especially the beats that he's giving me, like, these beats require more than just rhyming. Like, you got to really create a song. So, and I'm cool with that. There's fans out there that want to just hear songs. So, there's plenty of dudes just rapping.
I want to hear balls.
No, that's not true. I a balance. That's all.
Yeah,
Not that we
yeah.
don't have it, and you know, I rock with everything we recorded. It's just dope. But
You got any bar joints on this album, new album?
I don't think so.
Well, so
Sorry, the Certified might be a bar joint, I guess.
Below the Clouds.
Below the Clouds, a bar joint. We got some. Maybe less than the last one, but it's all good.
You're getting sneak peeks on some of the song titles
Yeah.
on the new album.
It's also a shorter album.
Okay.
So
That's dope. And how did you guys, first link together? The first time that you decided to work on something, and how was the alchemy, in the
the
studio?
first time we worked together?
Yeah.
Huh. I think the first time was me in the studio laying down a beat for a song called Do It Man for Long Hot Summer.
Yep.
That was for his record. And I was so young in the game that I was not the Marco I am right now. I was probably just whatever was happening. I was like, sounds good. Yeah, great. Awesome. I'm here. Ace is using my beat and Big Noid's here. It's 100%. Even if there was something, I probably wasn't saying anything. That's where it was so early and I was so excited. So.
How old were you?
Shit, 23, 24. I'm 43 now. But yeah, that was the first track, and then after that, Ace wrote a song for me called Nostalgia that I used on Port Authority.
Within the audience, Master Ace the name. I write rhymes and insert them inside your vein. They run through your bloodstream, get inside your brain. Since I first put my name up inside the train.
Great song.
Thank you. And I even remember you saying, you wrote this like this would be my last song. That's where your mind was at.
That's where my mind was. Yeah, because Long Hot Summer.
3 verses. That's when you used to ask artists, write 3 verses. Good luck in 2020. Ace, write a 3-verse song.
The last album had like 4 3-verse
No,
songs.
but that's where, I'm talking about just a producer on a producer record.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And yes, I was very happy to receive Nostalgia as a trade for Do It Man. And yeah, that started, those were the first 2 joints we did.
What was your reaction when you first heard Marco Polo's piece? The first time you seen the studio
trash.
come through?
I said to myself, I didn't say out loud, I just said, yo, this kid, he understands drums. Because that's what it's always going to be about for me. To write, you just have the dopest sample. If the drums are trash, I'm not going to write to it. But the stuff that he gave me, because he gave me, I met him at a studio called the Knitting Factory.
The cutting room.
Sorry.
Very close.
And, yeah, and so I was there working with another, I can't remember the session I was doing.
Beatnuts.
It was Beatnuts?
For the joint on Long Hot Summer.
For the song, yeah. So, and on my way out, this skinny kid comes up to me, here, I do beats. Just want to give you a CD. I'm like, okay. I took it. Back then, I would take anything. Like, people give me beats, I'm going to go check them out. I listened to them, I was like, yo, okay. It must have been an email or something written on the CD.
Nah, he called me. There was my number too. It was a number and email. That's back when rappers would call you on the phone, cold call you, and you would still pick up back then, even unknown numbers. And yeah.
Do you remember what I said?
I said, what up? It's Master Ace. I
said, yo, I like some of these joints. Like, yo, send me some more. I remember asking for more joints.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know your life was about to change at that moment?
I mean, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but I knew that was a good step in the right direction. I had just got let go from the studio, and so yeah, I was working on that energy set off me doing Port Authority, which is arguably to this day my most successful underground release, and Nostalgia by far is almost at 10 million views on the video on YouTube. For me, it's like no song close to that.
That's one of those songs that you can play to anybody.
Yeah, no idea when that was being made that was going to go that direction, and I'm just grateful. So
I just love the beat, and the song wrote itself.
Yeah.
The video was cool too.
Yeah, I think at this time, no one had any expectations for that song to continue to get.
I remember him telling me, yo, we're going to do a video for it. I was like, really? Okay. You want to do a video? Really? But I didn't see it like, it wasn't like, to me, it was like, we're doing a video for this. This is a cool song, but, and I get there, and it was like a whole, it was like it's going to be like a legit video.
Yeah, it's a pretty fancy video shoot with multiple locations, wardrobe, makeup. It was crazy.
Yeah.
We were going in. We were going in. So yeah, and things definitely changed for the better after that. You know, and it inspired my album, because originally it was no album. It was that song and another song that was supposed to be a 12-inch back when we were just doing 12 inches, and then turned into an album. So
I got a question for you. You worked with Torre.
I have.
Why have you never did another Double Barrel too?
Look at his face. Look at his face.
Me and Tor have new music. New music.
Done.
All I will say is the timing of your question is very good, and I'm going to leave it right there. But
Okay.
good things for this year. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear that, man.
Yo, I put all my eggs in the same basket, this rap shit. Or should I say got stuffed in the same casket? Cause if music is really the way Nas said, then I guess I should deal with the life after it.
The name speaks for itself, man. Double barrel. That's a slap in your face right there.
10 years ago, man.
Yeah. 2009.
Chelsea Torre.
More than 10 years.
Maybe.
13 years, yep.
It's possible.
2009 was it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Shouts to Duck Down, shouts to Torre.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's possible you will get some new music very soon. That's the most I can say to you at this point.
Good. Yeah, I understand, man. That's good. You say a lot already. That's good for us, man. Can't wait to hear that, man. Let's talk about Europe. You guys are known, for touring a lot, in Europe. What do you think about the European audience in terms of respecting the hip-hop culture?
Ultimate.
No, but in a good way. I feel like it's more. I feel like we get more love out here. Not feel, I know.
This is being in Europe is what spoils us. It spoils us because we see what it should be like. So when we go back home and we get booked in a club in freaking Idaho or something, and we get there and there's 50 people there, 80 people there.
And shouts to those 50, 80 people.
No, because they're enthusiastic.
Yeah, shouts to them. But it's just overall, it's just, yeah.
Do you think that they are lacking with the promoting or marketing?
Many things like that. It's the overall culture. Time moves on, and maybe some of the fan base is older, can't make the show. We can sit here all day and pick it apart.
The States is very much driven by commercial success.
Yes.
What's on the radio? What's on We do,
right, but the problem is building the youth. And what we see here is that we're not seeing we did Amsterdam last night, and while there was some older heads there, with confidence I can say there was also 21-year-olds in the room, alongside 50-year-olds. So if we're not educating the youth to have the option to see all the different styles of hip-hop, so that they can make a choice for themselves. But the younger generation is on.
They're not exposed to our music.
They don't even know we exist.
Maybe they will, like they're
eventually. It's possible. To music nerds, yes, it's always possible, but as an overall, and I think people just are more open here to just going to shows. I don't even know the artist. I'm just going to go to the show. A friend says, "Come to the show with me," and then they go, and then, oh my God, this is great.
I can't tell you how many times I've had a fan in Europe come up to me and say, "You were here 2 years ago. I was too young to go, but now I'm 18 and I'm coming to my first concert." I'm like, so that kind of stuff is cool.
And everybody, and all different cities in Europe have different vibes. Every time we come to Paris, I just remember the crowd being loud as fuck. Energy is it's always crazy. Paris is that slap the ceiling in the club type at the show. Reminds me of old Toronto and just like the rowdiness of the fans. And
but Paris has taste. Paris reminds me of London because they have taste. Like, if we like you, we're gonna let you know we like you. If you trash, you're gonna be like, it's gonna be like this. Like, this guy's not good. Like
you gotta earn it.
They're not just gonna automatically rock you because you're
shit.
there. They're gonna be like, nah, this guy's not good. So when you earn it in Paris, just like London, like you know it. Like, okay, they really mess with what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's good. And if you had one place in the world that you didn't go to yet to perform?
Asia.
Okay.
The continent of it. He's been there. I haven't been there.
What part?
You've been to Thailand, right?
He's asking you where you would like to go. I've been to a lot of places.
I want to go to the continent, period. Japan, all of it, whatever's...
You never had the chance to go to Tokyo?
No. Wherever I hear this, but nobody's bringing me. You gotta find the right promoter that's willing to pay... Because I'm at least a travel party of 3, if not 4. So they don't want to pay for 3 flights because the flights are so expensive. But that's been one of the deterrents. But hopefully...
Have you talked to people out there already about that?
Once or twice, I was close, but...
Because I got some friends in Japan.
By all means.
Make it happen.
Yeah, man.
Make it happen.
Do you have any advice for the upcoming MCs?
My advice is always to whatever you're writing, be true to what you're writing. Like, make music that's true to who you are. Don't just say something on a song because you hear this rapper or that rapper talking about that stuff, so you say, oh, I got to talk about that. write from an honest place. Right? Tell your story. Don't tell Drake's story or 21 Savage story. Tell your story. Speak from your perspective. Stop trying to mimic what other people sound like or other people are doing. That's the only way you're gonna stand out. Because you're unique. There's nobody else like you. So when you're telling your story from your perspective, nobody else can duplicate that. And that's what I say. I mean, that's my approach.
Stay true to yourself. What could you say, Marco, to the young beat makers out there?
The first thing you should do is, in my opinion, is you should do your history. You should learn about buying records and sampling and how this shit started, and there's classic sounds that trigger good reactions in rappers that will always work, whether it's a certain break beats or little sounds or spices from old school records. That it's just all part of your knowledge and going to school and becoming a producer and then mixing it in with your own flair, and like he said, being true to yourself, because you're a one of one. No one else in the world is like you. So if you're trying to be like everyone else, you're being like everyone else, but your value is in your originality of yourself. No one can copy that. So try and find a way to, in the process of learning and biting your favorite producers, find your own shit.
And do you think that you ever reach your prime, or it's coming later? Like Quincy Jones with your album,
Oh man, my whole thing is I feel like I'm learning every day. I'm trying to get better and better and better. I'm sure I'll go through waves. I'm sure there's people that think my best stuff's on this album and this album, but I think I'm always getting better. That's me. Or else, the moment I think I have nothing more to add, I'm probably done. So there's no graduation date for me when it comes to production.
And what are your new challenges in terms of production now?
Is challenging myself, being happy with my work. I'm very, very hard on the type of stuff that I make, and it's very difficult to take something that's been done a million times by so many people and make it new again without going too crazy. So that's a challenge for a producer. How do you take something that's old? How do you reinvent the wheel without reinventing the wheel? It's my challenge every day.
You work with legendary producers, Marco Polo included, man. But if you could lock yourself, in the studio to work on an EP, a short album with another producer on the floor, who could that be?
Maybe Q-Tip.
Really? I thought you were gonna say Dre. Not that Q-Tip's one of my favorite producers.
But if I do it with Dre, it's never coming out. So.
Yo!
Yeah. He'd definitely be one of my choices, but his stuff, everything he works on gets shelved. I don't want to get shelved. I can't do a whole Dre album and it don't come out.
Yeah.
Maybe Q-Tip, because I heard Q-Tip working with LL, and I was hearing snippets, and it just was sounding like different and dope. Like I was like, okay. He's very creative, so I know he would pull out some sort of creativity in me.
And when are you guys ever coming together?
New album, it's being mixed.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be like 14 or 13 joints.
I don't want to tell you how many joints.
Yeah, it's
it could always
like
change, but it'll be a nice, healthy, full new album, hopefully coming out this year.
Nice.
That's what I can tell you.
Okay. And are you still creating music right now, in Ultramons for that album, or it's totally done and now you're just mixing it?
The musical elements, the foundation, most of Ace's raps is done. We're just waiting on a couple features. My boy Shiloh is mixing it right now, so it's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say anything and then you guys call me on it in 6 months. But I would say the meat and potatoes are done.
Okay. I have a question for you. The only Logic came up with this one. That's a good question. He say, if you want to build a new Juice crew, the MCs from 2023 right now.
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Who would you choose?
Put you on the spot with that.
Okay. All right. You want to give me a number of artists? Because Juice Crew's, it's like 7, 8 people.
You go ahead.
Doesn't matter? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say J. Cole. I'm going to say Kendrick Lamar. I'm going to say Sci-Hi the Prince.
Black superhero. Hope to enlighten you in every passage. Stay hero, get your cash, nigga, below. Them federal agents was like black suits to Neo. High class, every role model I had could get the Rico. My job was to take 100 racks to the Migos.
Maybe Big Sean.
Okay.
He rhymes his ass off.
You got a unique voice too.
Yeah. And I feel like we need somebody kind of, well, we need like a G-Rap type dude. So Benny the Butcher comes to mind. Put him in there. Need a female, right? So we got, she's actually on our new album, a girl named Shay Noir from Buffalo.
Yep, she's dope.
So she could be the Shantae.
I'm too woke for sleepy niggas. I tote to squeeze these triggers. On her business, on the side, I sell clothes to keep me richer. My baby sister, only person that I'll hire. Healthy diet, stack bread and rock merch like it's designer. No.
And then
damn, that's a sick Juice Crew 2023 already.
yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
We just need a biz, like somebody with the comedic, you know, who's comedic now?
Quirky, fun vibes, party vibes. Yeah, I don't know who that would be in this. That's a good question.
That's a shame. Nobody has the courage to just, like Missy Elliott was like the
But maybe
last.
there is and we don't know. That's, I can't listen to everything. I'm not up on everything. So maybe they do exist. We just have to find them. So that's the to be determined.
Yeah.
But that's what it's missing so far.
Yep, you're right. Guys like ODB, like Biz Markie, you know.
Yeah, somebody like that. Somebody like that.
Some craziness.
Yeah.
Afro.
Afro. he's not like, he still wants to be, very lyrical, rapidy rap, which is awesome. But yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say he's biz vibes.
Nope.
Let's talk about business. You know, you don't come against it. You know, you gotta teach him, how to survive in this industry and all that. So, do you think that right now in 2023, you have to be an entrepreneur at the same time to survive in the industry?
Absolutely. That's me. I don't.
No, 100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
you got to use social media, whether you hate it or not. Like if you're not up on that, you got to use it. There's people that are better at social media than their actual artistic musical abilities that will go farther than people with amazing musical abilities because they know how to use social media. That's just the way it is. And you got to do that stuff.
It's funny you say that. Yesterday I was listening to 50 Cent talking about Lloyd Banks, and he was trying to tell Lloyd Banks that he should, put pictures of himself on Instagram, talk to his audience. And Banks was like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. It's not me. And 50 Cent said, when he said that word, I've seen a difference. Like you don't have the vision that I have, and that's when everything stops. But what you're saying is really important. So you can have all the talent in the world,
but just to be clear, from an artistic perspective, I still fucking hate it. I don't think that. I don't think someone. Yes, but I put my emotions aside and understand. You can complain all you want. It's not going to change. This is where it's at. So to be clear, no one ever that makes beats or writes rhymes wants to think about what am I going to post today in my Instagram story. That's not something I wake up thinking about. I just want to work on good music. But now you got to do that too, and that's just the way it is. So
I feel I'm the same. I don't like don't see many pictures of me, but you feel this obligation to do it because you see everybody else that's doing it. You see people reacting.
Absolutely, I agree.
I mean, there's no more magazines. There used to be a million hip hop magazines. You run a full page ad, half page ad. That doesn't exist anymore. So you have to advertise yourself in some way, and that's one of the ways to do it. To get your sound out, your voice out, your image out, so that people know who you are.
What are you working on, like in terms of like merchandising, stuff like that, entrepreneurial stuff like?
We both have websites.
Started my own label, put out my own first records on my own label, instrumental albums, got t-shirts. Obviously every time we drop, we cover the gamut in terms of doing shirts and all the vinyl, but yeah, you can count on us putting out vinyl on any release, which is a big part of the merch game when we come out here and selling stuff directly to fans. So I always have cool colors on my vinyl and things like that, and
Let me ask you something, both of you. If you could get like free duplication for CD, vinyl, or cassette for life, what would you choose? Free duplication for life.
Vinyl.
That's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Not even a hesitation.
Sorry to mixtapes. I'm sorry. Vinyl is the most expensive. That's why.
Yep.
The great thing.
And it still moves.
And it still moves, but to show love to all formats, I make cassettes every album, you know, because they're not that expensive to make. People still appreciate them, but yeah, vinyls.
I've done cassettes on my last three records, but
we have Brooklyn Story cassettes at the show.
It just doesn't move. They don't move.
Yeah, it's not even something to.
It's a collector's item.
Yeah. You keep the blister on, you know. You live in your room.
It's a niche market. I make a little bit. They always but not crazy. Yeah, vinyl's number one for life.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man, for having the time to do the interview, man.
Yes, thanks, man.
Do you have any last word for the audience, man, that's been watching each other?
New album
dropping this year, MASTA Ace Marco Polo. If you're familiar with us, thank you for your support. If not, check us on the internet.
Yeah, Mixtape Addict, that's how we do it. We in Paris, MASTA Ace Marco Polo. Signing out. Peace. J'envoie un message au grand frère.
The job is done, le gars va prendre son train.
Tu vois ce que je veux dire, on fume des grosses battes devant
le voyageur.
Les couilles quoi. Tu vois. Ah ouais, au retour, là je vais à Orléans, voir le poteau Eddie Starks.
Yes, shout out Eddie Starks.
Putain, aujourd'hui j'ai traversé une petite partie de la France, c'était cool. MASTA Ace, Marco Polo, le gros logique dans la place.
Yeah.
Assisté du super head, tu vois, professionnel, tu vois ce que je veux dire.
Au calme.
Real shit. Et là ça va être retour dans le train. Les choses se passent. On va aller fumer des battes, sûrement boire un petit rhum. Tu connais quoi?
Sûrement.
Dire ça célébrer, tu vois. Celebration, tu vois ou pas? Addict. Les condés sont derrière, je vais continuer à parler à la caméra, tu vois ce que je veux dire? Tu casses trop les couilles, tu vois ce que je veux dire?
C'est un moment unique.
Un moment unique.
Unique.
Unique en son genre, tu vois. C'est une partie les bleus, on casse les couilles.
Le gars il a posé comme si c'était légal. Legal.
De toute façon, tu veux qu'il fasse quoi, la vie?
Avec la musique qui va avec.